No! Well, actually, that'll be alright. That'll be alright. It's not very good. It isn't. That's going straight. It is. Alright, it's set play. Oh, it made it. Alright. No! Stop. Alright, it's cool. It's cool. Oh. Yes! Dude, that was it. It would have been awesome if I'd made that second to last shot, but that was still a fraction of a second. Maybe a second and a half. Holy smokes, that was it. I don't even know what the time was, but I know it was a PB, and I know it was the world record. There's no way it wasn't. I'd be out of my mind if it wasn't, but it absolutely had to be. All the things, pretty much all the things went right. I mean, it's certainly beatable, but that was basically at least as good as my PB, except I didn't screw up hole 8. Like, I nailed hole 8 perfectly. And hole 9 was certainly, when I say hole 8, it's not hole 8. Why do I even think of it as hole 8? Because I'm thinking it's like a 9-hole course. So 17 is really what I mean. It's hole 5, stage 3, hole 5. And it looks like I'm hitting it blind, but I'm using the music as a cue. And it like goes, and like, it hits the moving platform just right. Super long shot with the moving platform at the end. And then over the blind hill into the hole. Absolutely perfect. And then the last hole too. The first shot is easy to miss, and that's a time loss. I could have gotten one cycle better on that next shot, but even that, it's a few seconds. But I waited for it, and I hit it just right to get it up in that hill. And two, I probably should have been quicker about making that next shot. But I always say that, and then I watch it back, and I'm like, dude, that's a half a second. You didn't wait that. It felt like an eternity trying to get that shot right to make sure I don't like do something stupid and knock it back down the hill. But they do give you that little bumper there. But even still, it's quicker to take the half a second to get the shot right than it is to have it fall back and start playing games with a bumper. So. Yeah, that was it. That's gotta be the run I was looking for. It's gotta be a low 8-minute run, I would hope. Really exciting stuff too, because I pretty much invented all of those shots. Like, there is no other run to watch. So I worked at this using save states to come up with most of those shots. Stage 1, hole 6 is the only one that's like really free form, and I started getting better at that first shot, like knocking that first shot off the side of the wall seemed to then give me a good angle with the flipper to get it in, because you can easily spend an incredible amount of time just trying to get the thing through the warp. That hole is definitely the linchpin of the early run. Once you can get the first 5 holes down. I actually even just got better at hole 5 too, understanding, because when you have these little yellow grain things, even whether they're moving or not, if you hit it directly across the grain, your ball goes significantly faster than if you're going against the grain, regardless of whether they're moving or not. So in hole 5, I learned, like, occasionally I would hit it perfectly with the grain by accident, and I would get a totally different result. Like, the ball would go really fast. And so I learned to just always go against the grain, because it's easier to, like, there's only one way to go with the grain, and there's many ways to go against it. So just always go against it and know what the strength is for that shot, and make sure not to accidentally go with the grain, because then your shot's going to go super fast, bounce off the wall, and come back. But yeah, then hole 6 is like, you just got to get it through that warp, and then there's a couple different, you got to get it across. If you're real close, you can hit it all the way across, but if you're with the thing moving, if not, you got to stop the thing. And then getting up that ramp pretty quick and having it roll into the hole is nice. I don't think that happened here. But that still had to be a pretty quick hole. Yeah, and then the middle section is a couple of like interesting setups. The whole section, stage 2, hole 3 is a pain in the neck. But when it works, and it did work in this run, it's pretty good. But that's a very specific setup to get it through that warp. It's very easy to have it bounce all over the place and end up in that one little patch of water in that hole. That hole's a pain in the neck. The hole after it is also a pain in the neck, but you definitely have more control over it. But it's not really a setup. Like, you just hit the ball down that ramp and it almost always goes through the warp. But then from there, you just gotta be careful going up the hills. And you gotta hope it lands, like, up on that middle hill and not all the way at the bottom. And then, yeah, the next couple holes have some pretty nice setups. The one where you just tap it and it kind of goes down, hole 5, stage 2, hole 5, that one didn't go super fast. I think in the PB that was its quick 2 shots. I hit it a little too hard on the drive. You want it like right in the middle of the H, like the strength, right in the middle of where the H in hole is. I hit it a little too hard and it bounced around a bit. And I didn't get the hole in 1 on the last hole there, but even that's like a pretty slim amount of time. First 2 holes of stage 3. Stage 3 really is more about the skill, but you can get the first 2 holes with that setup. It's not even super hard, the timing on the first hole. It seems like it should be super hard, but if you pretty much just move your ball a bit to the right and go, and get the right strength, you'll have plenty of platform to work with to get it over and into the hole in 1. The next one's all about just lining it up and hitting it as hard as possible. Works surprisingly easily. It can't be that exact because it works almost every time. And then, yeah, you have to take 2 shots on 3. I think even if you hit it as hard as possible, it won't go back through the warp. And that would just waste time anyway. If you kind of shoot it down that long stretch and bounce it around, it usually goes in the hole. Yeah, hole 4 took some time, I guess, but it was like 1 shot. It bounced around like crazy. Stage 3, hole 4, but it did then get down to where it was only 1 more shot to get it in the hole. That was probably more time than I wanted it to be, but I can't imagine the PB was much faster. I mean, maybe. It bounced around a lot. Yeah, and then 5 was great and 6 was great. Alright, so, I mean, there was definitely a couple things in there that probably took more time than I thought, because I was just watching the ball bounce around. Compared to the PB, maybe, but we'll see. We'll watch it back.